All right, welcome to the /r/politics analysis for October 8th, 2017. First up, Lawrence, no one defended Trump after moron comment. This is from MSNBC. Oh.
Joining us now, Eli Stoker.
Okay, so this is a video with a caption. The they put a more I wanna live through this again. Hold on. They put a more button.
Joining us now, Eli Stokel, is White House correspondent.
Okay. So this is MSNBC. I'm going to move the mic over so I don't smack it with my headphones. Okay. Rex Tillerson called Trump a moron at a Pentagon meeting. Tillerson didn't deny it. Excuse my English. And to make matters worse, not one official or aide came out to defend the president. Lawrence O'Donnell discusses with Max Boot, Betsy Woodruff, and Eli Stokols.
Correspondent for the Wall Street Journal and MSNBC political analyst. Also with us, Max Boot, a senior fellow for national security studies at the Council on Foreign Relations and a former foreign policy advisor for the presidential campaigns of McCain, Romney, and Rubio. Also with us, Betsy Woodruff, politics reporter for the Daily Beast. And so, Max, did I just hear the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee refer to the president as chaos after his Secretary of State has apparently referred to him as a moron?
That's a pretty apt summary of the day, Lawrence, I would have to say. I mean, what can you do except kind of laugh? I mean, this is kind of like a bad reality TV show. It's like, what the heck is going to happen tomorrow? I mean, it's any other administration, this would be unbelievable. For the Trump administration, it's, more of the same, basically.
It is.
Man, I don't know where to begin on dissecting this. So they do make a good point about this is abnormal. I don't think anyone is under the impression that the Trump administration was going to be business as usual. So his criticism of if this was any other presidency, this would be a scandal. Sure, but that's not what we want. We don't want business as usual politics in the White House anymore. And we're going to see this through 2020. We're going to see this through 2024. It's going to be upheaval. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be bullshit spewed from the media until they all lose their ad revenue and die. I mean, as the ad revenue is going towards independent creators. It's going towards it's going towards independent creators. I can't think of any of the. Trying to think of something else that isn't an independent creator. We have now the ability to distribute information decentrally through the internet, through IP, TCP over IP. So it's going to be a shift towards the alt media.
Eli, the one reference in the NBC News reporting about this that I don't quite get is the part where it reports the people in the room to have been stunned when Tillerson used the word moron.
Okay, okay, see, that would make sense.
We live in a country where one of the least stunning things you can say about the current president of the United States is moron. It's something that's said throughout the country by...
Yes, it is going to be shocking that Secretary of State... Who was this? This was the... Fuck, this is hard where I can't just read it. Okay, Tillerson called him... Yeah, it's shocking if your Secretary of State is going to call you a moron at a Pentagon meeting.
millions of
And we need people like this who are going to speak what's on their mind.
people every day. What's to be stunned about in that room?
It's not politics as usual. That's what's stunning.
That may be so, but this is the Secretary of State after a meeting with the president, somebody who agreed to go take this job and work for this president, whose flaws were all known already.
Okay, so having someone, they should be defending this guy. And the main point that I think should be made about Tillerson is that he's criticizing the president. He's got an attitude of skepticism towards the president, and he's not afraid to call him a fucking idiot.
So, obviously there's a reason why he's yet to resign, why he continues to stay in this job and subject himself to the ongoing humiliation of basically having no clout, of meeting with diplomats who know that he does not speak for this president.
Okay. That's an interesting criticism. You could look at it that way. But this man is also the man that you have to deal with if you're going to deal with U.S. foreign relations. This is the Secretary of State. This is the guy. So he does represent the interests of the president. He has to. He can't represent the interests of anyone else. So, yeah, he's got criticisms of the president, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to be aligned with the interests of the president. This is a reaching claim, in my opinion.
And being humiliated by the president on Twitter at the president's whim, as he was over the weekend on the North Korea stuff. This is sort of a bad reality show, and we're past the scene in the reality show where both of these characters have sort of talked to the producer off camera and explained how they really feel through their tweets and other comments. And yet they're still out there sort of, the scene continues, and they act like they like each other. Rex acts like he wants to be there, even though
He's got to. I mean, he probably does. He probably enjoys it at this point. He probably enjoys this guy's. He was an ExxonMobil CEO, right? He grew up in Oklahoma. He's got this. He grew up in Wichita Falls, and then he moved to. He did his engineering degree at OSU in Stillwater, so he's from this area of the state, he's from this area of the nation. So he's probably enjoying the playing the politics. He's probably enjoying the meticulousness of it. He's probably enjoying being the guy that everyone's got to deal with. He probably quite enjoys it. I doubt that he is feeling particularly embarrassed of the president if he's willing to just call him a moron. He's like, this guy's being an idiot. It's whatever. He's saying some stupid shit. He probably takes Trump's side. He's like, yeah, stop stupid shit, dude. Yeah, chill out. Focus on the MAGA, man.
he continues through our reporting. I understand he does sort of look at this. He'll be lucky to last a year.
This guy didn't know. Tillerson's a good old boy. Everything I've read about Tillerson has confirmed to me that in my head I imagine him as a good old boy, and dealing with a good old boy can be kind of shitty. Okay, these are people who have had to scrape through every bullshit situation to get where they are. They've had to put the time in. They started with maybe not nothing, but they definitely didn't start as a trust fund baby, right? So they end up clawing through life, and this guy ended up as a fucking CEO. Most good old boys are, end up running their own business in the oil field. Now, that's a typical good old boy. So this is like a mega good old boy. They often have a lot of hubris around them. A lot of them are goofy motherfuckers. They're quite eccentric. They've got strange senses of humor. They're just old farts who've been around forever, and Tillerson definitely seems to fit that description to me, from what I understand. So he's gonna call the president a moron. It's gonna happen if that's what he's gonna say what's on his mind, and that's why probably Trump's not gonna give him the boot. This Trump sees eye to eye with this guy, and that's probably why Tillerson. I keep slurring that. Tillerson feels comfortable enough to level that sort of insult at the president. He's being a moron. Okay, it's probably something that just came out of his mouth. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
And so the idea that he's going to be there forever, the whole performance today just wasn't really all that believable, nor was the president's statement that he has full confidence in Rex, as he said before he left Vegas.
He does.
And Betsy, this is a president who has publicly attacked his attorney general. He's publicly, in effect, attacked
Sessions?
Rex Tillerson.
Yeah, Sessions is a bit of a fucking idiot. I don't like Sessions. Let me make that clear. I'm not a big fan of Sessions.
Saying that it's useless for Rex Tillerson to try to do anything diplomatically with North Korea. And so...
Yeah, I don't know. Trump may be working on different information, militarily speaking. We're still at war with Korea. The Korean War never ended. So, militarily speaking, diplomacy might not be the best option concerning North Korea. Now, they do have a nuclear deterrent. This is something we have to consider. I know that Black Pigeon Speaks released a video where he tried to offer the point of view that North Korea doesn't want to unite the peninsula. They merely want the nuclear deterrent so they can convince people, to release the sanctions and sell their earth metals, etc. The rare earth metals. There's a lot of pride in uniting the peninsula. Uniting the peninsula for North Korea. That is definitely a goal. I disagree with Black Pigeon Speaks on that issue. I think they definitely want to unite the peninsula. Diplomacy might not be something they can pursue.
In a way, there's an unsurprising...
It's not completely out there. It's not stupid. The concept of that, the diplomacy might not be able to happen. They might not be able to solve things diplomatically. That's not stupid.
Component of this much friction between the president and his cabinet.
Exactly, and this
Perceived
friction is nothing new. Remember Secretary Tillerson refusing to disavow the reports that he called the president a moron? That's not the first time he's opted out of going on the record defending the president. Back when the Charlottesville events happened, Secretary Tillerson refused to defend the way the president responded to the death there and the ensuing chaos. That's something that was very much noted in the White House. Additionally, some of Secretary Tillerson's closest allies, his spokesman R.C. Hammond and his chief of staff, Margaret Peterlin, have built up significant groups of enemies in the White House. They are not well loved there. And Secretary Tillerson himself hasn't necessarily done the work that you would expect from a Washington outsider to develop allies in Congress, which is why you aren't hearing many folks on the Hill, with the exception.
He doesn't want to play this stupid game. He'd rather just try and get shit done. He didn't want to have to wheel and deal. He didn't want to have to go to all these fucking dinners and all these lunch meetings, and he just wants to get shit done. And if he can speak frankly with people to try and achieve that, that's what he's going to do. He'd rather just have a very brass tacks meeting, get the shit done, etc. Get it over with, move on. He doesn't want to have to go through this politics as usual.
Exception of Corker sort of surged to his defense. Instead, we're seeing a Secretary of State under siege, and of course the challenge for him is that he's jeopardized, he's put his entire professional reputation on the...
He's about to retire. He doesn't have a fucking professional career. He's 65 years old.
line to head to the State Department, and he's forced to watch state be just diminished day by day. It's a really tough position for him to be in. That said, I think the reports are correct that it's unlikely he's going to step down or the president will force him out. If
So how is he only gonna last a year then? Explain that to me.
anything, because Secretary Price was the guy who had to get out of Dodge this week. So that seems to give Tillerson a bit of time.
But Max, to most observers, no one has done more damage to the State Department than Rex Tillerson himself.
Absolutely. I mean, when I think about who has been a worse Secretary of State, I kind of scratch my head. I can't actually think about it, Lawrence. I mean, he is pretty much the worst I've ever seen, probably the worst of the last century. The way he's approached that job has just been very curious because he's been really focused on this minutia, like reforming the State Department organization, getting the email system working. And meanwhile, he doesn't have undersecretaries, he doesn't have assistant secretaries.
Okay. Yes, because they're trying to be the change they want to see in the world and take up less tax dollars. They want to slim out the bureaucracy. They want to have less positions filled. They want to work with less people. They want to try and be more efficient with government resources. It would look very hypocritical if Trump ran on this campaign of making America great again, trying to have small government, et cetera, and then he just can't, he trying to articulate myself. He understands that he needs to show that he can run the government on a shoestring budget, executive branch wise. He wants to just appoint as few people as possible. Let's get this thing out the door. Let's see what we can do. So far, he's doing a pretty good job, in my opinion. He's focusing on minutia. Okay, so what was the criticism? He's getting the email servers online.
Time.
But Max, to most observers, no one has done more damage to the State Department than Rex Tillerson himself.
Absolutely. I mean, when I think about who has been a worse Secretary of State, I kind of scratch my head. I can't actually think about it, Lawrence. I mean, he is pretty much the worst I've ever seen, probably the worst of the last century. The way he's approached that job has just been very curious because he's been really focused on this minutia, like reforming the State Department organization, getting the email.
Okay, so reforming it how is that a negative thing? If everyone's unhappy with the way government's being executed right now, even people on the left, they're very critical of our inefficient government. Wouldn't reforming the State Department help? I mean, I don't know how he's doing it. You're not going to tell me. And then he's saying he's got to get it helps to have the email system online. If you want to conduct business, emails help. And they probably want something a bit more secure than Gmail.
System working, and meanwhile, he doesn't have undersecretaries, he doesn't have assistant secretaries, he's not speaking to the press, he's not, taking a high-profile policy stance.
He's not speaking to the press? Okay. I wonder why Rex Tillerson doesn't care about the press. I wonder why. I wonder why Rex Tillerson doesn't give a shit about the press.
I mean, it's almost like his mindset is he needs to shed underperforming divisions so he can get the State Department stock price up. He doesn't seem to have much conception of what is.
Let me get this straight. So you're telling me that you shouldn't get rid of inefficient bullshit. If it's inefficient, if it's bringing the State Department down, this guy has a very inefficient job. We're going to try and streamline it. Let's cut 10 secretaries and replace them with one. Because not every single person needs a secretary, right? Is that the idea? I'm talking out of my ass, but that seems like it would be the idea.
the Secretary of State actually does. Now, that said, I mean, Donald Trump is also to blame because he is not a guy who believes in diplomacy, clearly, and he undercuts Tillerson.
Donald Trump is probably the most diplomatic president we'll ever have. Japan relations. Let's see. Seems very diplomatic to me. Let's see. Seems like the Japan relations are doing pretty well. This one's going to be. Let's see. Okay, so he's not doing too well with Russia. You know, probably because if he looks like he's helpful with Russia, the media will continue to slew hit piece after hit piece. Cannot be defined by murmurs. What is this? Cannot be defined. Oh, what is this? He is meeting with the president, so he's definitely being diplomatic with the president. He's not shutting the Mexican president out, right? Let's see. Has hurt Mexico's view. Maybe, maybe. He is meeting with the president, though. It's not like he's shutting him out. Trade war, Trudeau, reaffirm. Oh, hold on. Whoa, what? What is this? Oh, okay, so, okay, cool. So he's being diplomatic with Justin Trudeau, who's his exact ideological opposite, by the way. If these two can play nice, then I think Donald Trump can play nice with anyone. Let's see. Wait, what? What is it? Forced on defensive as Trump targets trade practices. Public enemy number one. Casting some Twitter shade. Let's try. I already did Japan. Let's try Brazil. Coming to the U.S. search of ethanol trade war, and this is let's see what else we got. Australia. Let's see how the Australia. If I knew how to spell, that would help. Okay. So he looks like he's being diplomatic with Australia. Or maybe maybe it's turning frosty, maybe not.
CNN that Trump's phone call Saturday with
Go away. Okay, but they're gonna kiss and make up. It's like this is a day later. It's a day later. It's fine. It's all right. We're gonna kiss and make up. It doesn't seem like it's exactly. It's not like they're refusing to meet with the guy
At every step. But if I blame Tillerson for anything, it's the fact that he has not done a good job of managing Trump in the way that Jim Mattis, for
Let me get this straight. He will openly call him an idiot, but he's poor at managing him. Poor at managing him would be being completely complicit, laying low, not saying a whole lot, whatever. Just like, I completely agree with the president, and his president's doing great, and I love Trump, and now he's calling him a fucking moron. So you tell me, is he trying to keep the president at bay, or is he complicit?
example, has done a pretty good job of not getting on his bad side, but managing to steer him along and not getting implicated in some of the crazy.
Because Mattis is a career, I'm not going to say he's a career politician. He's obviously a very well-achieved general. He comes from a government background. He understands how things work. He understands how the media will skew things. Tillerson's a good old boy. He doesn't give a shit. He's going to say what's on his mind. That's Tillerson. Get used to it.
Craziness around the White House, and Tillerson has not figured out how to do that. And I think it's pretty clear that everybody understands we're headed for a Rexit pretty soon, that, you know, Rex wants the
A Rexit.
probably stick around at least a year, so it won't seem like he was forced out too fast, but he is not going to be long for this job.
But
Didn't you just say that he wasn't going to get forced out? I have to go find that. But I don't. It would be easier if I could just scroll up and read it.
Eli, as to the difference that Trump has, the different regard he has for the people around him, it seems if the only way you get any kind of reasonable or possibly respectful dealings with Donald Trump is if you have the title general. Without the title general, which Rex Tillerson does not have, he seems to be treated differently than this defense secretary.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, Trump knows not to fuck with the military. That's what that tells me.
title general, or perhaps the last name Trump. But, you know, you're right. And Rex, this was sort of an interesting
I'm surprised there wasn't a Russian dig here.
pairing. He was sort of entered the game late in the Secretary of State sweepstakes. He was sort of brought in and an unlikely pick, sort of a dark horse, but he and Trump supposedly sort of hit it off. But just personalities, they are so different. It's not just that he's not a general. It's, you know, this is a sort of underspoken Texan who likes to sort of navigate things behind the scenes, spent much of his career at Exxon doing things behind closed doors, and now he's obviously very uncomfortable with the public component of this job. And you have Trump, who is nothing if not a public figure, who just lives his entire life in the media. The president.
I like this. This is a good comparison. There's nothing wrong with this.
Presidency is televised and tweeted, and that's really the presidency. They just don't really get each other. There's a lot of friction on a lot of policy debates, pretty much every foreign policy.
This is a good thing. This is let him duke it out. Let him have the friction.
Policy debate that we've seen, and it is interesting that Rex has been, he's certainly not the only one to feel frustrated. Sources tell me that even John Kelly has threatened to resign numerous times, yet he's still
Sources could say whatever the fuck they want.
there, has yet to really, to our knowledge, incur the president's wrath.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a lie. I'm not going to trust anyone's word on that until I get specifics. That's horseshit, as far as I'm concerned.
Whereas Secretary Tillerson, for whatever reason, has sort of been in the doghouse, it seems like, for quite a long time.
And Betsy, there seems to be an adults versus the children component to this. You have some people in the White House saying they were hoping Rex Tillerson would leave. You have others in the administration saying that, you know, without the Secretary of State, without the Secretary of Defense, this administration would be unthinkable. You have the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee saying that Rex Tillerson is one of the people who saves us from chaos, the chaos, presumably, that would be visited upon us if Donald Trump...
This seems to be a little bit out there, a little bit fringe.
was given kind of an unfettered, framework within which to work. And so these cheerleaders, these anti-Tillerson cheerleaders in the White House, we don't know how many there are. There's only a handful of them quoted tonight without their names, versus the adults. What do you make of the size of those factions?
There is a.
I can't take it. They've made their point. Okay, let's see what the comments say. Let's see, it's awesome. Tillerson is on your fucking side. Tillerson is on your side. Stop criticizing him. And stop telling him to fucking resign, you idiots. Jesus Christ. If he's on your side, just let him be. Fuck. Okay. The one thing that will ease NK tensions is making sure they don't have nuclear weapons. Was it Bill Clinton Let's go. Let's take a trip down. Where are we laying? The actor James Woods tweeted a 1994 clip of President Bill Clinton announcing a deal with North Korea. Hold on, let's see.
Before I take your questions, I'd like to say just a word about the framework with North Korea that Ambassador Gallucci signed this morning. This is a good deal for the United States.
Okay.
North Korea will freeze and then dismantle its nuclear program.
Okay.
South Korea and our other allies will be better protected. The entire world will be safer as we slow the spread of nuclear weapons. South Korea, with support from Japan and other nations, will bear most of the cost of providing North Korea with fuel to make up for the nuclear energy it is losing.
So you're giving North Korea uranium. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. That would have eased tensions in North Korea. Suggested Saturday that the only thing that could de-escalate tensions between the United States and North Korea would be President Trump's resignation. That's the only thing. There's nothing else. There's no other option. That's it. Liu was responding to a tweet from Trump in which the president argued that diplomacy had failed to rein it, which if they built a fucking nuclear bomb under economic sanctions. That is impressive. That is fucking awesome. That makes me believe that someone else was feeding them information, but holy shit, good on North Korea. That is impressive. This tiny little country took in uranium. I don't know if it's enriched. Maybe they have to do that themselves. Enriching is supposed to be the hard part, right? Maybe Clinton did all the hard work for him. But they built a nuclear bomb, and now they've got ICBMs. Good on North Korea. All right, playtime's over. Now we're gonna fucking burn your country to the ground. Is that one? I'm sure your generals told you there are zero good military options against North Korea. There are none. Okay. Having a saboteur on the inside to dismantle them surreptitiously would be ideal. That's my own pet theory, is that we've infiltrated their regime for a long time. We know exactly what's going on. We've had them infiltrated since the 50s, in my opinion. Yeah, and that's my theory. So I don't know if that's true. Has repeatedly acknowledged that the U.S. has military options on the table for responding to the threats from Pyongyang. And while his administration's response is focused overwhelmingly on imposing new sanctions, which would be a diplomatic solution, Trump himself has launched a barrage of threats against North Korea because this is what he's going to do. You can criticize him for it, sure, it's fine. Go ahead, nothing wrong with that, but he's going to do it. This is who we elected. Keep that in mind, 2020. If you don't like this guy, who's going to fire back when he's insulted, you maybe don't vote for him. I'm probably going to. But he's going to do shit like this, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. He called him a fucking Rocket Man. He called him Little Rocket Man. That is amazing. That is fantastic that he called this person. He takes this person who is threatening to annihilate our western seaboard. Los Angeles, knock him out. And he called him a fucking Little Rocket Man. Whew, that is fantastic. During a speech before the United Nations General Assembly last month, for example, he said the U.S. may be forced to totally destroy it, which we could. Play nice with us because you're not dealing with Obama anymore, and he will fuck you in the ass. Trump's willing to go ahead and let the military go ahead and do whatever they want. Days later, he posted a tweet claiming that the reclusive country won't be around much longer if it continued to threaten the U.S. Yeah, talk shit, get hit. North Korea's foreign minister later called the comment a declaration of war. We're already at war. Do you not know that we're still at war? Because we're still at war. We're in a ceasefire right now. But the Korean War... let's see. It says was. Okay, was. Let's see. Armistice agreement provided for monitoring by an international commission. The Neutral Nations Supervisory Commission, composed of members of the Swiss and Swedish armed forces, has been stationed near the DMZ. South Vietnamese capital was captured by... Whoa, what? Hold on, whoa. I didn't know about that. Encouragement coming from Indochina. Kim Il-sung saw it as an opportunity to invade the South. Holy shit! I didn't know about that. I thought it was over. Are you sure it's not over? Because there was an invasion in 1975. Oh, wow. Wow. That's amazing. So it's still at war. Okay, cool. That's nice. Still at war. We're already at war. Days later, he posted a tweet claiming that the reclusive country won't be... okay, I already read that. Sorry. Tensions between the U.S. and North Korea have been heightened in recent months because they're threatening to nuke us. Trump would probably much rather just chill out and focus on making America great again. But now he's got to deal with some guy with nuke subs and ICBMs. Now he's got to deal with a rogue state with ICBMs threatening to fucking nuke Los Angeles and Seattle and whichever. Insert city here. Tested what its government said was a hydrogen bomb, a development that, if true, would mark a major milestone for the country's nuclear weapons. Yeah, it's a big fucking deal. Did not increase risky. I don't know who believes this. I haven't heard this. Affect risky. I have to parse this. Hold on. Part of the administration's justification for the new policy is that such coverage could increase risky sexual behavior among teenagers. Could. Let's see. Prevalence of risky sexual among American high school students. This is in 2012. So everything's going down. Except for the lack of condom usage, and not using a condom is pretty fucking risky. Wait, hold on. You're telling me that less people are using condoms now? And less people having sex. Wow, damn. That's interesting. But if not using a condom is going up, that's an increase in risky sexual behavior. Excuse me. Wait, so less people were having sex. Hold on. Sorry, more people are having sex. Wait, whoever had sex. Hold on, wait. The proportion whoever had sex dropped. Wait. Okay, so less. Okay, yeah. Okay, less people having sex. Okay, cool. Making sure I'm clear. The share who were currently sexually fell. Okay, but they don't mention the condom use, because this is probably the stat that they're talking about. If it is increasing if it's decreasing condom use, then it is increasing risky sexual behavior. and it didn't even say it factually did. It said it could. It said it could. So yes, if more women are on birth control, then less men will be using condoms, and less men using condoms, not having unprotected sex, is inherently more risky. Jesus fucking Christ, the Washington Post. What are you doing? Democracy dies in darkness? Yeah, this is pretty dark. I feel democracy dying as I read this horseshit. Who didn't use condom? Although this has been on the rise, it was used immediately prior to contraception mandate. These numbers don't show causation. They don't indicate that the contraception cause. They don't? You sure? Okay. Huh. So as the use of birth control proliferates amongst the society, the less people are using condoms, is what I'm saying. If you make it easier for women to get on birth control, less men will feel the need to use condoms, and they increase the risk of catching an STI. Good, because more women are on birth control, which is good. This is fine. But this is, let's see, key data point, which comes, teen births have plummeted, which is good. Having people on birth control is good. Better sex ed is good. We need to shed our Puritan heritage. But this article's headline is incorrect, is not factual. Or should I say, the data does not suggest that it definitely did not increase risky sexual. It seems to be murky. It definitely seems murky. Okay, I've been really excited to review this. Oh, there's a lot of blue. Okay, factcheck.org. Okay, stories claiming the Las Vegas shooter was linked to Antifa, a loosely organized group of anti-fascist activists. Is that what they are? They're anti-fascists? They seem pretty fucking fascist to me. Okay. Are proliferating online, but his purported links to Antifa are either false, fabricated, or unsubstantiated. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what's going on. Craig Paddock, 64, Mesquite, Nevada, as the shooter who opened fire on a crowd of more than 22,000 people from his 32nd floor hotel room at the Mandalay Bay Resort. And first off, the 59. The investigations haven't finished yet. Yeah. Okay, so they haven't found it yet. But he did act alone. Okay, good. Thank you very much, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Where does it say they acted alone? Zero. Okay. Single. Okay. Shooter. Okay. Of the shooter. So shooter happens twice in this article. Where's the other shooter? Okay. It seems as if nothing mentions specifically a lone shooter in this article. It does not say that he... Oh, wait, hold on. It's an active investigation. Motives of the shooter. Excuse me, but this does not state that he acted alone. So, thanks for misleading. Hold on, let me get this straight. This actually says that this thing, what this thing is sourced as saying. This is a source of saying that Paddock acted alone, right? We believe it was solely responsible. Okay, so this is another. Okay, this is a different thing. Okay, we're gonna get a different source. Holy shit, this is 12 minutes long. I'm not doing this again. A site called neonnettle.com posted a story on it with the headline exposed as Antifa-led. Okay, let's analyze this. Non-stop gunfire. It's uncovered evidence. My heart. The FBI tells me that Stephen Paddock was a known Antifa member. Did the FBI tell him that? He probably shouldn't have mentioned that. There's an active investigation. I wouldn't release that kind of information during an active investigation if I were the president. That's a bit of a misstep. Let's see. Paddock is definitely an anti-Trump person. He's not very aligned with Trump's views. So, I mean, this is just a report on Trump's tweet. Is all this is. Nice. Okay, yeah, Alex Jones. Engineered by the Democrats funded leftist groups to create a civil war in the United States in a bid to undermine Donald Trump's presidency. And I believe this. I believe that. They do want to heightened sensitivities before a gun control vote. Site base specs links to Antifa and a pair of fabricated tweets. So you don't have any. Oh wait, hold on. Whoa. Okay. Trump. Twitter. When did this happen? Let's see. This was October 2nd. Alright, October 2nd. I'm just gonna meander down here. 5th, 4th, 2nd. He didn't tweet the 2nd. Hey, so that didn't happen. Shit. I guess it was faked. Huh. Fake news. What do you know? Free software. Okay. You're wrong, Tor. You're wrong. You just inspect element and Whammo. You have an edited, formatted fake. The neonnettle.com story claimed that Trump's first was okay, so it's fake. It's fake. Cool. Fake news. Huh. This is Web Archive. Okay, so it's fake news. Fake news. Oh well. This is great. I love Trump. He's such a screenshot. Okay. No major news outlets have written about those tweets because they're sympathetic to Antifa. If they did happen, I don't know now. I have no idea. ProudTrumpers.com and SundayPost.org, which is registered to an owner in Australia. Why is that relevant? The popular conservative. So this is okay. Yeah. Infowars.com also claims that Paddock was connected to Antifa, saying that an unnamed source told the website that the here's my opinion. I'm gonna interject here. I'm gonna talk about my opinion. The media hasn't released his motive, and the media hasn't released the information on the note left in his room, which is rumored to contain calculations to dial in his range and calculate bullet drop, etc. Normally by now, if there had been a manifesto, it would be all over the news. Maybe this is because it's an active FBI investigation. Who knows? But they've been pretty fucking quiet about his motive. And he had over 20 guns in that goddamn room. Something stinks. It is my opinion that the media haven't released this motive because it does not align with their interests. Is it ISIS? Is it Antifa? Who knows? But the fact is the media has not released the motive. Maybe that's due to an active FBI investigation. Maybe it's because that motive does not align with their interests. I don't know. Which is, wait, hold on. So you claim the panic was an Antifa member based on porno face. What's this? It's just links to. Hold on, what? Okay. And it claims it's fake. This disputed Facebook post has been circulating online, has been covered by the Daily Mail. One of our comrades from the Las Woo. The post has since been deleted from the group's page, but the Internet Archive post. We sent the message inquiring about the post, but we haven't received a response. Sure. Okay. There is no evidence specifically not linking him to Antifa. This just claims that there were people that were faking it. So this should be appendixed with so far, or sorry, appended with so far, or no evidence released, or Las Vegas shooter still pending FBI active still under active FBI investigation. This is, you cannot definitively say there's no evidence because you are not aware of the evidence that the FBI has uncovered during their investigation or covered up. Stage torture. Okay. Okay. Cool. We got some white nationalists. Okay.
Months of debate leading to a
Thank
decision,
you.
a
Is this
white
another video?
nationalist
I'm
getting
not
his
going to do
chance to
it.
speak at the University
Shut
of...
up. It was declared an unlawful assembly. Yeah, you should have got your permit, Richard. Including alt-right leader Richard. What? He this. That's his term. Why are you putting it in quotes? Assembled once again at the foot of the Ely statue. Wait, it's called Emancipation Park? Why are you tearing this statue down in Emancipation Park? What are you angry about? It's literally called, in the heart of the South, it's called Emancipation Park. Fucking chill out. Unite the Right rally. Yeah. Bearing March. It's Bicentennial Friday. While we prefer get permits, such assemblies are protected by the First Amendment, and we do not interfere unless we perceive a legal or safety issue. Alright, so we marched again in Charlottesville. And the despicable visit by neo-Nazi cowards. You're not welcome here. Go home. Meantime, we're looking at all our leaves. So stay tuned. Thank you, Mike. Protest him. Tell him he's racist. Monitoring the situation as we continue to oppose these racists and their message of hate. Cool. Concealed by what? Oh, that's so fucking autistic. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. That's an interesting stance. North Korea is a bit more important than healthcare at this point, in my opinion. Healthcare block grants saying they allow the states to focus on. Whoa, hold on, what? He's behind government healthcare. That's awesome. Wait, hold on. Whoa, what? So the headline makes it seem like Trump was very passive and shitty about the healthcare stuff, right? Get off me, this fucking dog. President Trump praised healthcare block grants, but he would rather focus his energy on tensions with North Korea than fixing somebody's back or their knee. But I don't want to focus on fixing. Okay, that's great. He's being very open about his priorities. Here's a guy who's focused on making sure we don't get nuked, and he's going to say it, and he's going to say it frankly. There's nothing wrong with what he just said. It would be phenomenal, he said. I can almost say that we are just about there in terms of the vote, so I expect... They're getting the grants. Yay! What is negative about this article? An accurate headline for this might be Trump weighs in on healthcare issue. Or Trump more focused on North Korea than healthcare issue. I gotta zero in on his goofy manner of speaking, because they have literally nothing else to go on. If he was Orange Hitler, we'd be in death camps by now. We'd be in gay, Mexican, black people death camps. Repeal was the Graham-Cassie bill, which included block grants to say it's great. Give states more money, which is what should happen. Give it to let the fucking states handle it. Likely to unsettle Republicans who have been working with Trump on tax reform in recent weeks. Expressed frustration in his Republican colleagues in the Senate for the healthcare failure so much they called Senate. Yeah. Fucking get your fucking shit together and churn out a bill that's going to actually change things. Please, God. Get your fucking shit together. 10 Trumps can't roll back nuke deal benefits. We'll condemn America, not Iran. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, Iran's president defended the 2015 nuclear deal with world powers on Saturday, saying not even 10 Donald Trumps can roll back its benefits to his country. We have achieved benefits that are irreversible. Nobody can roll them back, neither Trump nor 10 Trumps, he said. If the United States violates the nuclear deal, the entire world will condemn America, not Iran. Iran accepted curbs on its contested nuclear. How do we even know they're agreeing with it? Maybe that's Trump's reason. Maybe he's got people telling him, Iran's not really doing this. They're not really doing what they say they're doing, right? From the lifting of sanctions against its oil exports, among others. How do we know that they're actually not working on their nuclear program? How do we know? Are we just gonna go off what they're saying? Because if they hate America, I wouldn't put it past them to just fucking work on the nuclear program anyway. Take new action against Iran's Revolutionary Guard and the Iranian-backed Shiite militant group Hezbollah. He is set to deliver a policy speech on Iran next week, in which he is expected to decline to certify Iran's compliance as partners signed with Tehran to rein in its nuclear programs. What if he says that his intelligence people have told him that Iran's not complying? Maybe that's why. That would stop short of pulling out of the deal. Lawmakers say Trump isn't going to immediately announce new nuclear sanctions, which are prohibited by the deal, and instead will refer the matter to Congress. This isn't a congressional matter, is it? Well, I guess treaties are wait, hold on. Powers of Congress. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Treated. Treaties. Just a second. I think Regulate commerce with foreign nations. To regulate commerce with foreign nations. Okay, that makes sense. Foreign coin. To provide the punishment of counterfeiting. To promote concentrate. Okay. Piracy is to declare war, grant layers of marking and reprisal, and make rules concerning captures. Private Jew to attack. Okay. To support, raise armies, to provide and maintain navy. To make rules for government, land, and naval forces. Fourth, the militia to execute laws of the Union. A lot of this shit got fucked, didn't it? To enforce rights of African Americans. I thought they were the only people that could authorize treaties. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm just dumb. Yeah, I don't know if referring the mayor to Congress is the best idea, but something in my head, I got in my head somewhere that Congress was in charge of treaties, but maybe, declaring war and treaties. Has repeated. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think the Congress has to approve any treaty. I think that's what it is. It's a bad deal. He signed a bill that imposes mandatory penalties on people involved in Iran's ballistic missile program and anyone who does business with them. He's trying to keep the deal on two fronts. One is with Trump, who always says it is a bad deal, hardliners inside the country. Way too much. Oh, hold on. What? There are people inside the country that are unhappy with the deal also. Probably because they want to keep their fucking nuclear weapons program. Oh, wait. The U.S. is still the great Satan? Really? Okay. So, Trump being skeptical of this deal doesn't seem like exactly a bad idea if we're still the great Satan. And anti-gay groups form months after lesbian cop saved his life. Really? This is about 10. I'm going to do this one, call it good. A lesbian police officer might have helped. Oh, okay. Never mind. Steve Scalise of Louisiana is still planning to speak at a conference for an anti-gay group. Okay. Values Voter Summit. The Family Research Annual Values Voter Summit. Okay. This seems... Oh, wow. They're charging people for this. Who's speaking at this? Just a bunch of people I don't know about. What is this? Exhibitor sponsored. Who's sponsoring this? Values, Christian Healthcare Ministries, AMAC. This can be anti-gay. So is an anti-abortion, anti-gay conservative group and lobbying. Okay, FRC. Oh, yeah. First robotics competition. Pro-marriage and pro-life. Hey, this didn't say it was anti-gay. They just said pro-marriage and pro-life. Hold on, back up. Whoa. I don't see anything that says anti-gay here. It looks like this is not fake news. They're actually anti-gay, I assume. Let's see. Yeah, this is a bunch of horseshit. I mean, their view is not this. The conservative group wrote a memo about the upcoming appearance, referencing June shooting. Was shot in the hip. There were times when we were wondering if House would ever speak at VBS again, but next week, excuse me, I was trying to see if we could confirm this was a lesbian cop. The Mirage, my good friend, will literally take center stage as Steve makes return trip to the biggest gathering pro-family conservatives in the country after shooting that rocked the country. For so many Americans, seeing him back at work defending our values has been an answer to prayer, and we look forward to celebrating his incredible journey back to health. One of those credited with helping us say, I'm going to go listen to the speech, see what he has to say. One of those, this doesn't seem wrong, by the way, this seems pretty accurate. One of those credited with helping save Scalise's life and the lives of it was Officer Crystal Griner, an openly gay member of the Capitol. Let's see, who is working as let's see. A lesbian police officer held a hero after. Why does it? Okay, first of all, why does it matter that she's a lesbian? Why is this important to whether she saved someone's life or not? Yeah. Okay. Why does it matter that she likes women? It doesn't. It does not matter. It does not matter whether she likes women or not. It does not matter. That she is just a person as much as I am. She deserves rights as much as I do. Many lives that have been lost if not for the heroic actions of two Capitol police officers who took down the gunman despite sustained gunshot wounds during a very, very brutal assault. Wife was given the Medal of Valor during a ceremony in July. Hold on, whoa. And Chris have been part of a family for years, and they're my heroes. Writes that homosexual conduct is harmful to the persons who engage in it in society at large and can never be affirmed. Physical. Okay, so this is obviously very provocative. This is very hardline stance against us. So yeah, let's go make sure this is actually there. Okay. Oh wow. Legislative testimony. Policy publications. Okay, first it says it believes that. It doesn't say it that it does. Okay, kudos to them for at least maintaining that this is a belief that they hold and not an objective truth. Good on them. Into society at large, it can never be affirmed. It is by definition unnatural, and as such is a negative physical. Blah 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 blah. Is equivalent to in law. I mean, it doesn't matter who you want to fuck. I'm very interested to see what Scalise says at this. I will be looking forward to reviewing that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I really want to do 9 and 10? I really don't. Is this... He's just going to repeat the pussy line again, isn't he? Yeah, 26,000. Very natural of us, let me tell you. Very natural. Some of these articles weren't terrible. But that's the analysis. Have a great day.